Are you looking for help with your adrenals recovering after taking prednisone? I recently had somebody reach out and ask me, I need a recommendation for adrenal support as I enter, hopefully, the final stage of prednisone tapering down at 2.5 milligrams. And this person wanted to know, how do I recover my adrenals? Well, what's amazing is I have a fellow pharmacist friend who is an expert at adrenal things, and her name is Isabella Wentz. She is the thyroid pharmacist. The thyroid has a lot to do with adrenals, so she's also become an adrenal expert. And I asked her for tips, and this is what she said. She said, adrenal support for steroid tapering. Steroid medications are often used to reduce inflammation and suppress the immune response in a variety of conditions like asthma, arthritis, inflammatory bowel disease, and allergic reactions. As we know, prednisone can be life-saving for some people, but it can also come with a long list of side effects. One of the more troublesome side effects we see with prolonged steroid use is pituitary suppression, right up here. Chronic use of corticosteroids impacts the function of the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, the HPA axis, by altering the feedback loops in the HPA. Because steroids act like cortisol in the body, certain receptors send the message to our body to stop its natural reproduction of cortisol. This shutdown of cortisol production can potentially cause adrenal insufficiency after corticosteroid treatment stops. Adrenal insufficiency is a very serious and potentially life-threatening situation. Many people want to stop steroids, but the withdrawal process, also known as steroid withdrawal syndrome, can be intense. In addition to symptoms like nausea, vomiting, loss of appetite, headache, extreme fatigue, fever, joint pain, and mood swings, people may also end up with compromised adrenal function. Adrenal insufficiency following stopping oral treatment, so taking the pill, of steroids is no small issue. For those who experience it, it improves over time, but we still see 40% of people experiencing adrenal suppression 6 months after stopping steroids, 20% 2 years after cessation, and 5% 3 years after cessation. The good news is that there are ways to support your adrenals while tapering off your medications. And I'm going to share some natural ways to ease transition on your body. First things first, it's vitally important to taper off slowly and carefully under the care of your doctor. Never suddenly stop taking your medication. In order to support the adrenals, we have to focus on what I call sending safety signals to the body through the foods we eat and don't eat, the ways we act, and the strategies we employ to rest and boost oxytocin, known as the love hormone. We can promote feelings of safety and calm, bringing your adrenals back into balance. And Dr. Isabella Wentz has identified 14 safety signals that are crucial for adrenal balance. Here is a brief overview of each safety signal. Number 1, nutrient density. I encourage you to eat high-quality, nutrient-dense foods, emphasizing fats and proteins, which let the body know that its nutrition needs will be met. Highly processed foods that are full of empty calories send a message that our food supply is scarce, triggering our stress response and survival mode. Number 2, lowered inflammation. Poor gut health can be a major source of chronic inflammation, a top stressor that can contribute to adrenal imbalance. We will focus on reducing inflammation in the digestive system by removing the top inflammatory foods, adding gut-supporting foods, and using targeted supplements like the beneficial yeast Saccharomyces boulardii. Number 3, balanced blood sugar. Wild swings in blood sugar put stress on the body and contribute to adrenal dysfunction. And this can often feel like fatigue, irritability, anger, or anxiety. We balance blood sugar by lowering carbohydrate intake and focusing on protein and healthy fats at meals and eating regularly. Number 4, hydration. You may think only athletes need to replenish electrolytes to stay hydrated, but those with adrenal dysfunction are often deficient in electrolytes like sodium and potassium and stand to gain physical and mental stamina by maintaining adequate levels. Make sure you're consuming adequate amounts of natural sea salt, not iodized salt. And that's important while you're tapering, but not necessarily while you're on high doses of prednisone. Number 5, supporting mitochondria. Mitochondria produce ATP, our body's main source of energy. When mitochondria become damaged or impaired and are no longer working optimally, we may experience low energy and fatigue and dysregulation of our adrenal hormones. We can support mitochondria by supplying them with the nutrients they need to survive. Healthy fats from our diet, B vitamins, vitamin C, magnesium, D-ribose, and Dr. Isabella Wentz's personal favorite, carnitine. Number 6, circadian rhythm reset. When this natural rhythm becomes disrupted by the steroids, our energy levels and sleep are profoundly affected. We may experience daytime fatigue and all-around low energy, or a tired but wired feeling that makes it difficult to fall asleep at night, even when the body's exhausted. Try to get outside into natural sunlight within an hour of waking, or use a light therapy lamp, and get as much sunshine as you can throughout the day, and limit bright light exposure and devices in the evening. Next, positive thought patterns. Research has shown that negative thoughts can cause inflammation in our bodies, which can contribute to the development of all sorts of health issues. A positive mindset will support the body's healing process. Pleasurable activities is next. Allocating time for self-care is essential for healing, as it can counteract stress, which will benefit our adrenals. The oxytocin burst of pleasure we get when doing things we enjoy shifts us away from stress and creates healing. Next, do something creative just because. This sends a powerful safety signal to the body by rooting us in the present moment, increasing our awareness and mindfulness, and putting us in a perfect balance of sympathetic focus with parasympathetic relaxation and regeneration, known as the flow state. Next is gentle movement. We know that movement can help our bodies heal, but in times of adrenal stress, the wrong type of movement can be overwhelming and actually deepen our adrenal dysfunction. Focus on adrenal supportive forms of movement like walking, Pilates, and yoga. Next is slow your breath. We tend to breathe very quickly and shallowly when we are stressed. This in turn speeds up the heart rate and shifts the body into sympathetic state, taking long, deep breaths. Signals to our bodies that we are safe and can shift us into a healing parasympathetic state. Next, create healthy coping strategies. Many of us have unhealthy coping strategies that we turn to in times of stress or when we feel emotionally activated. This could look like eating sweets, drinking alcohol, smoking cigarettes, or doom scrolling on your phone. Basically, anything to distract us from our feelings. Creating healthy coping strategies, learning to pause, taking a walk, journaling, etc., will empower us to be less reactive to situations in our life and reduce stress. Next is let go of heaviness. Many of us carry the heaviness of resentment, limiting beliefs, and trauma that keeps us stuck in a fight or flight state and prevents us from healing. It's important to identify and work through these beliefs so that your body can find a sense of safety and calm. Finally, healthy boundaries. When we set boundaries with loved ones, our job, and with other people and activities, we are protecting ourselves and limiting our exposure to stress, while being respectful to others and letting them know what they can really expect from us. And Dr. Isabella covers all of these in safety signals in more depth in her book, The Adrenal Transformation Protocol. This book, she's a fellow pharmacist. Like, I just love it. Here it is up close. Adrenal Transformation Protocol, a 4-week plan to release stress symptoms and go from surviving to thriving, by Isabella Wentz, PharmD. And she's also written a whole bunch of other New York Times bestselling books. So what she says is that she covers all of these, like, that we just went through in more depth in her book. And she has a simple program that's 4 weeks to follow to help bring your adrenals back into balance and cultivate the tools for optimal energy levels, mental clarity, great sleep, and a great mood. This book includes practices and habits that you can start before tapering off steroids to help build resilience in your body. They can greatly help you during the transition off of them and provide you with long-term adrenal support, so that once you're off the prednisone, it's actually less likely that you'll need to get back on, because you'll have brought your body into a better, more stable sense of peace, calm, and shifting from that sympathetic to the parasympathetic, peaceful part of life. So I encourage you to go buy this book, Adrenal Transformation Protocol. It's just barely released this week, and you can get access to it at any bookseller, Amazon, or any other bookseller. And just go and find the Adrenal Transformation Protocol by Isabella Wentz. Signing off as Dr. Megan, your prednisone pharmacist.